and M2 just keeps going up. Now, as you can see here, this is not common for Bitcoin. You have the money supply going from 105 to 116. That's $11 trillion being added last year. And you have Bitcoin going from 105 to 87. About a 15% growth in M2 money supply, yet Bitcoin has actually went down. That is not common. There are a few reasons for this, in my opinion. Also, it's important to note that there is a lag. Bitcoin price peaks. The money started increasing a year prior. We go from 82 trillion, called 100 trillion. So we had 16 trillion, almost the amount that was added last year. And price really didn't start picking up, even though the money supply had went from 81 to 94 right in the same time. This chart and this behavior makes me think we have a great setup for Bitcoin to come back and come back aggressively. Every move of M2 like this, where you just start climbing the year-over-year growth, is always followed by crazy Bitcoin price to the upside, not to the downside. And I pulled some charts for you guys just to show you this correlation. You guys remember 08? About 2021. Look at this. Boom. Home prices go up over 100K in 2 years. And if you go back to this, 2020 with COVID, this is really where it started. And we go from 80 to 103. And then home prices shoot up. Everything is correlated to the amount of dollars that are circulating. Gold and silver. It's the same behavior. Not only is Bitcoin positioned, in my opinion, to go higher, but I also think everything else is positioned to go. We have the stock market just touched all-time highs not too long ago, so it's in the exact same position. Gold is this trade. It's been a debasement trade for as long as it's been around. This guy, Zinks, he gets it. We'll get into the transition from gold to Bitcoin because that is an actual, like, that's real, and I can show you some of those correlations. Right here, he says most of us would be gold bucks if Bitcoin didn't exist, and that's true. All of us are looking at this as a debasement trade because you have the money supply almost doubling in 11 years. If they doubled the money supply every decade, let's say, you and I would be spending $2 million on a starter home in the next 20 years. It's that crazy. Bitcoin specifically is really going to struggle, I think, in the short term. I do not think Bitcoin is going to catch up to metals in the next, call it 3 to 6 months. And the main reason is these indicators, they're not a sure science. You can look at some of these and really understand the momentum and the velocity of money that is going into assets. We have the stochastic RSI, and MACD. I'm going to explain what they are, and then we're going to take a look at this chart. This purple line is the RSI. It's the relative strength index. It basically tells you if something is overbought or oversold based on the momentum of buys and sells. Stochastic RSI is exactly the same thing, but inside of the ranges, and it's relative to the RSI. So it's like an indicator of an indicator. And those two together can really give you an idea of where the market's appetite is. Past performance does not guarantee future performance, which is why I always say that it's not a perfect science. If they were, every trader would have a 100% win rate. And then finally, we have the MACD, which is basically a price indicator for averages in a time range, 12 and 26 weeks, months, etc. This is our MACD. This is our stochastic RSI, and this is our RSI. Is Bitcoin going to respond quickly, or is it going to take time? Hey guys, 77% of you guys are not subscribed to this channel. Hit the sub button and then drop a content idea that you want me personally to cover so I can make content that actually benefits you and your situation, whatever you're doing in your mind through research. First, we're going to cover the actual Bitcoin price because this is not looking great. I like to look at larger time frames because I'm a long-term investor, and you have to think about the amount of data. There's billions and billions of dollars on a monthly, but on a 12-hour, the volume could be only a few hundred million. The monthly summarizes massive amounts of data for you to get a general idea. 50 is neutral for the RSI. If it's above 70, these dotted lines, it's overbought. And if it's below these dotted lines, it's oversold. Now, if we go look at this line right here, you can see every time orange is above blue, we have downward momentum. That's called a death cross. Alternatively, when blue switches above orange, price goes up. Right here, almost exactly as soon as it switches, we go from 17,000 all the way up to 31,000. So we almost double in price. And the same is true for the MACD. This cross up, blue's on top of orange now, and we go from 26 all the way up to 113,000. So these are big moves. And you can see here, every time the blue is under the orange, we have downward price. This death cross on the month monthly. This death cross on the MACD and a 20% drop in RSI tells me that there is very little love for this asset right now today. Going forward, we would need all of these indicators to reverse their current trend down and go back up. For that to happen, Bitcoin would have to crush past its moving average, which is 105K, and then it would have to climb to probably 130 to make up for all of the sells in the market right. So we would need an explosive moment for Bitcoin. And the reason why I think Bitcoin is performing like this, why is the price doing this? Price is just the collective opinion on the future performance of an asset. It's all relative, and it's a collective opinion of every single person that has capital on an exchange. And I don't know if you pay attention to humans collectively, we're pretty not great. Okay, we're not great as a collective unit, but individually we're great. I don't trust price. It is one of the lowest trust variables I analyze, because when I go talk to random people or when I hear random people on social media, those are the people that you're investing against. This is a zero-sum game and they have no idea what's going on. So I don't necessarily like price. I do feel that retail institutions, the humans behind balancing this number here, are very worried about quantum. I'm going to leave this up so you guys can read it. It's a wonderful analysis and article. Bitcoin right now has a serious optics issue and security issue. If quantum computing can get to 50,000, 100,000 qubits, some of the earliest Bitcoins that are in like 2009 devices, 2010, 2011 devices that haven't moved, Bitcoin assumed dead, or the founder of Bitcoin, Satoshi's wallet, they are susceptible to quantum hacks way sooner than anyone else. On this channel, we talk about how you need 1 million qubits, and software already has quantum safe encryption, which is true. So it's not a big risk. The coins that have not been moved will be a problem. And Bitcoin, since it is the oldest blockchain in history, and their culture of developers does not believe in forking and updating the network and all that stuff. They want to leave it as is. Bitcoin does face a threat that needs to be navigated, and honestly, they need to start now. This could be driving down Bitcoin because this is getting steam. People are talking about it. Quantum's coming for your keys, blah, blah, blah. This could actually be a legitimate reason why Bitcoin has so much momentum to the downside right now. And honestly, looking at these, the last time the MACD was below the 20, it looks like we are right here. Like we're starting the bear market. It's almost identical. When RSI goes below the 50, that's a bear market. And when you start printing these red candles, MACD has a death cross, red candles, all of these indicators are flashing a bear market. Price is not looking good. We very well could be going into a bear market, even with M2 going up, because if people don't see Bitcoin as a safe store of value to combat this, people are not going to invest in. Now, I think it's short-sighted personally, because you have this going on, right? People are literally flooding the market with fake metals, scamming people. This is one of many examples to the value of Bitcoin, even with these quantum concerns, because you could buy Bitcoin and then store the Bitcoin in a quantum safe device and like never have to worry about it until like maybe 2040, 2050, when the actual network can be compromised. But at that point in time, I feel like people are going to be able to, I have faith, I guess. It really does come down to faith. I have faith that the Bitcoin developer network will get off their ass and actually update the protocol. Ethereum has done it many times successfully, never had a bad update, totally doable. And we already have the algorithms today that could protect the Bitcoin. So it's like, just implement the solution and get over yourselves, you Bitcoin maxis. Now, gold and silver, on the other hand, as you can see, they are catching the bid, even with fake metals rushing the market. And honestly, it is kind of scary. That means the world is so uncertain that they want this instead of Bitcoin, instead of AI stocks. I mean, this is outperforming everything. That means people are not excited about the future. They are worried about the future. Fear is at an all-time high on the fear and greed indicator. People are terrified. You can see when people are scared, these things go up. So these have been around for thousands of years. People trust this more than they trust this. That's what these charts are showing, even if Bitcoin does solve a different need. This is the last real thing that I want to cover. If we can get clarity, and it's like one article, it's a project, expanding the security budget, getting people onto quantum safe technology, all that stuff, figuring out an actual plan with a target date, everything else. Like that would remedy a lot of people's concerns. If we got clarity on quantum, there is a strong strong correlation between gold and Bitcoin catching up. In our Bitcoin peak, like our bull run, you can see gold peaked right here, 2020-ish. It double topped right before the bear market of crypto. But right here, gold did a massive move and retraced. In this retracing process, I, Jake Tallis, JT Knows Things, will never solicit you ever. If you receive a message from someone claiming to be me, that is not me. I will never reach out. Those are scammers. Disregard any outreach. Thank you. Bitcoin absolutely ran when we're back here. Mid 2020, gold's peaking. It starts correcting going into 2021, and Bitcoin catches a massive bid from 10,000 up to 60 plus thousand. That has happened before. So when we see gold and silver start correcting, people are going to be greedy and they want more alpha doing the same trade, which we just covered. They want the debasement trade, but they want higher returns. That's what happens. So as Zinx is talking about, it is totally possible that gold could correct here and people would want to rotate into Bitcoin because they may want to keep doing the debasement trade, just switch the vehicle for it. I think we need clarity on quantum, and I think we need metals to cool off. This is a powerful beast. Metals may not cool off, and Bitcoin could fall into a bear market until that clarity on quantum may take longer than we'd like, and we could see further downside here. Hence my quarrels, my troubles, which I'm sure you all are struggling with as well. The thing that is going on is fiat currency is being thrown in the trash. The US dollar is like the freshest meal out of a dumpster. And we have people scared, and we have people funneling into that concept, debasement. That is the word that applies to all that. Bitcoin has yet to catch its debasement bid since, I'll just call it Q2 of 2025. I do not think anything about that is going to change. I think Bitcoin will catch that bid. It already has once. Bitcoin was at 15,000 4 years ago. It is up over 1,000%. It's already caught a major bid. I think the quantum thing is an excuse or just a weird thing that is really driving concerns, mainly from institutions who were ignorant, bought high. Like they're saying the bull market's dead. That's because they bought 110, 115,000 Bitcoin expecting 500K. Like they're crazy. If you bought in the bear market of 2022, like you are fine. You're big chilling. Okay, I am. I would love to buy more cheaper. The debasement trade hit Bitcoin. It has slowed down because now we're in the hype and like the FOMO of metals because it is absolutely crushed. I could easily see a flip there. I am staying long. I am excited for lower prices. I absolutely believe we will catch that trade. It very well could happen after a correction. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Blockchain certainly isn't. And times like this make me excited. I had cash on the side. I still have dry powder. And I'm seeing prices retrace almost a year, 2 years. Some of the best opportunities to, pick up some of your favorite names that you've researched. Make no mistake, at 12 trillion that entered the market last year is going to be a ripper for asset prices. Until next time, take care of one another. God bless you guys.